The design element that I'm interested in talking about this evening is called field and frame. It's very common. It's found in ceramics all over the place. The stuff that I look at most is Middle Eastern to 18th, 19th century Europe. And field and frame is basically, I pulled out a couple examples of my own work, and then I'm going to talk about a couple other pieces. But it's where this is the frame, this is a very narrow frame, and then this becomes the field that can be thousands of different sorts of subject matter and positive and negative space relationships. It can be abstract, it can be pattern. I brought a couple other things. Here's just a little bowl. The work I put into the show is one large charger and then 4 plates that are irregular. I'm a hand builder and I'm not limited to round. This is basically a little drawing. Again, a very narrow frame. This is a dinner plate. And to me, I'm thinking about what food will look like in here. And I love the idea of this wider border sort of nestling some dish or perhaps a salad, some entree kind of thing. And again, it's a very traditional construct. And I've always loved, from my very first ceramics classes, I've loved setting up borders and boundaries. And so field and frame is excellent for that. I wanted to also talk about a couple historical things. I often wonder if this plate, this is an English ironstone plate that came down to me through my family. My mother's side of the family came to the United States through Canada, and before that England, and this is English ironstone. I don't know much about it, but I grew up with it, and here it is. It relates to the green plate I just showed. A border in here, another border out here that's actually dotted looking even, and then a medallion in the middle. It's very much set up the way that the large charger that I have in the exhibition is set up. And so you grow up with something and maybe it becomes embedded, and I wonder if that's part of my entire attraction to this. Lastly, I got to looking around the house, and I was thinking that everything is field and frame. So many of the pots, what we ate dinner off of tonight, things on the wall. And then I came to this plate. And this is going to inspire me, because I was thinking, here is, again, a very traditional field and frame attempt is something like a scene or a landscape or a battle, if we think of Italian maiolica. This one, the frame is really, where does the frame begin and end? And as I started looking at this is a Japanese Art Deco piece. Exquisitely beautiful, I think. But the frame starts invading the field. And so as you move around, there's these little areas where it's invading, and at the same time, the landscape or the domestic scene is also running off the composition on one end. So having examined this in a new way, thinking about doing this film, I've decided that this is something that I will use as future inspiration.